Um, so today I just want to talk about the Prisca Theologia, or the eternal philosophy that is the thread through all of the mystical religious traditions set forth on the planet, that differentiates itself from the belief of nihilism, or that the end of the body is the end of the mind, the end of the mind being the end of personality, being as the teaching that there is no personality or progress after the physical body is dead, and how all of the religious schools or philosophical schools of thought have been trying to show actual alchemical scientific proofs or natural proofs, using the doctrine of analogy, or what is the doctrine of correspondences, which means that in life all things are similar, are all set to a similar pattern. Going back to the Neoplatonists, the emanation is saying that things all come from the monad, or the one, um, and that monad being the positive nature, the spiritual nature, which is the causal plane, and this realm being the physical realm of effects. Now, the opposite of that is what we've been taught in school, is that after, that this realm of effects or phenomenon is the only realm, there is no causal realm, and therefore we should learn to live as long as we can in the flesh, even to be as far or stupid enough to want to become immortal through artificial intelligence, rather than tapping into the natural immortality that we're already pre-gifted with. Um, all of the initiate schools, all the mystic schools from the east to the west have all taught the doctrine of eternal immortal progression. And it wasn't until there has been some misinterpretations by the Orthodox Eastern system, where the priestcraft of both East and West, so both Christian as well as Eastern, as we have in the Christian tradition or on the West, a thought of either going to heaven or hell and facing eternal hell, or you have in the West more of a nihilistic approach where there is nothing after this life. You just completely die. You're a meat suit. The only thing you can live on. And then you have some more esoteric doctrines that have snuck into the West through the Eastern misinterpretations of like no self or annihilation of the self. So that basically saying that when you die, or the highest way to reach is to be annihilation of the personality or the self, and that there is no real progression, but there is no actual soul. Um, the same way reincarnation teaches, in the same way that you basically, when you live and die in different bodies, you forget the past lives, so you can only tap into them in a certain way, and it just makes it all difficult and complicated. And the reason why is because if we go into what the Vedas, explain about the four, basically the four ages, like everything has four seasons. Right now we're in winter, summer, winter, fall, spring, and essentially the ages of the year. So we had the different yugas: the gold age, the silver age, the bronze, and right now we're in that age of ignorance. So we're coming down into that age of ignorance where things have gotten scattered, lost over time, but now we're experiencing the reignition. Just like a yo-yo goes down, and then so far it goes down, it must reach its lowest point to go up. And that brings me to my next point, that this physical realm of effects is actually the physical representation, or the emanation of the invisible causal realm. And our whole goal is that the causal realm created these different individual viewpoints of individual personality souls that descend in a process of involution down into its negative zone. So we have the spiritual positive, which is the invisible, the spiritual, the non-seen, and then we have its negative counterform, which is at its lowest point, the physical realm. And our goal is to, as spiritual souls, to have eternal immortal progression, and to utilize this realm to gain conscious immortality for eternity. So that's what we're going to be getting into. So thank you.